All right.
Yay, it worked.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining us on our healthy living tips as we continue when we can. And today we are talking about pregnancy and breastfeeding when it comes to nutrition, mindset, and all of that stuff, right? My name is Anuschka. I'm an empowerment health coach and
And I'm Dr. Rachel Meyer, a clinical and health psychologist and health and wellness advocate.
yes,
Very excited.
yes, we both love health, very passionate about it. And of course, when it comes to pregnancy and breastfeeding, I believe that I have seen even friends where they start to get into this mindset of like, oh my God, I'm getting bloated, I feel fat, I'm getting big, right? And start worrying about what to put in their body, right?
Totally.
Not that either of us have been pregnant, not yet. At some point, Rachel probably never. And we have plenty of friends that have gone down that journey. So, one of the things that we really wanted to touch on is also being able to just be clear that right now, the most important thing is to feed your body the best nutrition possible. That's really the best thing you can do for you and your baby.
And I would even add, if you're thinking about getting pregnant, now's the next time to boost your nutrition to help create that fertility and make it all as possibly or as successful as possible, for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. Good nutrition is essential for getting ready to be pregnant, getting pregnant, and even while breastfeeding. Because I mean, always, of course, good nutrition is great always, and this is the time that you really want to make it more of an essential urgency than any other time.
Right, right. And all of that can be really challenging, especially in today's environment, especially with all of the should I, shouldn't I, what's out there, what's the right thing, what does the research say? And of course, without a doubt, always follow your healthcare practitioner's guidelines and recommendations.
Yes.
But like everything else that, Anuschka and I do here every Monday, and the support that we have for the company Isagenix and their products, is it just takes the guesswork out of it and it makes it easy. And they've done so much to already pave the way. And I'm actually looking at an article right now as we talk that literally outlines all of the great, wonderful products that are absolutely safe and healthy for you to take while you are pregnant, to make it eat pregnant and or breastfeeding, to make sure that you're getting the sufficient calories, nutrient dense calories. It's not about just eating calories enough to make the baby grow or to have enough milk production or supply when you're breastfeeding, but to make sure that it's filled with the most nutrient dense calories possible, right?
Absolutely.
And so, I mean,
and boosting your immune system too, right? Because this is the time that you want to make sure that you are as healthy as possible, have a really high immune system, so that way you're protecting your baby, really. I mean, yourself, of course, from getting any illness, but also your baby, because that would take away from your baby's growth. And that goes along, I mean, nutrition and really just giving your body everything, including, I'm going to talk about the mindset piece, right? Because including the mindset, when you are going around and talking about, oh my God, I'm getting so big, or I'm getting so fat, or look at me, or whatever. Well, that's like a negative energy that you're actually giving your baby. And so you have, instead of something like that, it's just like, no, I'm feeding my baby, I'm feeding my body all the best nutrition that I possibly can. And it is very natural for us to get bellies, right? That's just part of the pregnancy, and does not mean you're getting big or fat or anything like that. It's more of really looking at what is it that's happening and recognizing the negative talk. That's like a big key as well. And I know that's like a big part of the healthy living, right? On top of the nutrition, yes, we're all about isogenics, and I definitely want to get that mindset piece in there.
And that goes without a doubt across the board always, right?
Yes.
And anytime you're going to make some sort of change, health behavior change, or look at what you're doing to live a healthier lifestyle, I, as a psychologist, would be the first to say that it's 90% mental. All the other things aren't going to work if your mindset isn't there. So I love that.
Yeah,
for sure.
So it's everything. Even with weight loss, not like we're going to talk about that today, but even with weight loss, I mean, if you're sitting here and eating things and feeling guilty eating them and feeling crappy afterwards because what you ate and making all the different judgments, well, your body's not going to lose it. Like it's not, no matter how clean you eat, no matter how much you work out, nothing's going to change. So it's a big part of everything. One thing I do love about Isogenics, coming back to pregnancy and breastfeeding, is they actually have a new mom bundle. And I just love that everything that a pregnant woman, pre-pregnancy, post-pregnancy, breastfeeding, all of it, you can have all of these amazing products to support you. And I know me, for one, I will definitely be very much having an ISA pregnancy and an ISA baby. Because I just know that I'm giving my body and my baby the best nutrition possible.
For sure. And I've had so many of my friends who have gotten pregnant. I actually have one really good friend from college who had several kids, and one without Isogenics before she was introduced, and then the other two with Isogenics. And she says, oh my goodness, it was just so much easier. I felt so much better. She would have these terrible morning sickness, nausea and upset stomach. And the only thing she could literally get down, kind of similar to your experience with chemo, was the shake. And it was the only thing that really sort of, settled her stomach, or that she could feel like she could get. And then to have all that nutrition, at least, going into your body, absolutely essential. And then to have the hydrate and all the electrolytes to really replenish and keep your energy up as you're going through the pregnancy, or certainly once you're breastfeeding. The other big piece that we haven't really talked about is digestive health. And how important it is to absolutely keep your
because I've heard a lot of times people will either go one way or the other, right? And it's just, with the body changing so much with all the hormones and whatnot, I mean, it's no wonder that would happen. And when you have the digestive health, the right probiotics, the digestive enzymes, oh my gosh, I can only imagine what a difference.
Make a huge difference. In your gut health. And then to have your...
Yeah, go ahead. No, I was going to say, and snacks. Like, to me, I'm like, that's a big thing. Because I'm like, I always hear about all these cravings and this and that. Well, it's like, well, when you have all the available healthy snacks, well, that's going to make it so much easier. Like you were saying at the beginning, just that whole convenience factor, right? Not needing to like run out. What I love is like a lot of times we're like ice cream. I don't know, for whatever reason, I hear pregnant women always talk about ice cream. Well, the beauty of the shakes is you can make it as thick as you possibly want. Throw some Isa Delight chocolates in it, and you got the best ice cream that's healthy for you, right? So it's like so many wonderful ways of having the best nutrition in the body and having it be delicious, nutritious and delicious, right?
Always. And I hear about a lot of women who get pregnant and then have trouble, kind of going back to the gut health and going one way or the other, but constipation and really needing to add fiber. So in addition to the fiber that's coming through the shakes, also being able to have the fiber snacks or the Fiber Pro, and really being able to help support your body with that addition is so critical. And then just going to the breastfeeding side, that need to have the additional 300 to 500 calories just to produce enough milk, being able to snack on these things that are, again, nutrient dense, but giving you additional calories throughout the day.
Absolutely. Or even having an extra shake or two, right? Available at your hand, so you don't have to constantly be looking for, oh my gosh, what am I going to eat? Constantly on top of the breastfeeding and sleeping and diaper change and all the stuff, having to cook on top of that. I mean, that sounds like a lot of work for just a couple people. So I can only imagine what a difference this I know is going to make for me personally. So that's one of the reasons why I actually was like, hey, this would be a great topic to bring up and talk about, really, for anyone else that's out there experiencing these difficulties when it comes to choosing healthy options.
Right. Yeah. There are some things, if you choose to look at isogenics or take a look at the supplements we have to offer that are not approved for pregnancy. And isogenics does a really nice job of letting you know which ones are safe and effective and approved versus those that you want to maybe run by your doctor and double check versus those that they've said, we don't really recommend these because they are not, a company geared just towards women who are pregnant or breastfeeding, but they're trying to make it as comprehensive a solution. But there's a really great article, and we can even post it in the link if we want for people to check out and see how nicely it's laid out so that, again, you've got that peace of mind going into it. Absolutely. That you don't have to worry, is this going to be safe or not?
Yeah, they've totally broken it out with what you can have, what's approved versus what not to have that's not been approved, right? And as Rachel said, you can definitely check with your doctor for the ones even that are approved. And most doctors, I believe, will look at the ingredients and have absolutely no problem with it. I would think if they do, they may not know much about nutrition, but that's just my personal opinion.
I have, it's so unfortunate because I have had people come back and say that their doctor they don't know.
They just don't know. They don't know.
Because they don't have the education and training on nutrition. And so they go with the err on the side of caution and say, well, just don't do it because we don't know yet. And I watch people go out and they'll eat at McDonald's or, these other
so much worse
chemical shits are way worse than putting just good nutrition, but because sometimes doctors don't know. So I'd really advocate touching base with a nutritionist or someone who can look at the labels and say, yeah, this is absolutely.
And actually can understand what the labels are. Because I went through that even through chemo, right? One of my doctors like, just don't take anything. I'm like, do you even know what this is? And he didn't. He just, because he didn't know and he just didn't want to look into it further, he said, don't touch it. And then the third oncologist I went to, he looked at it and he's like, I have no idea why he told you that. Right. So it's like, I just, and so my other thing would be another nutritionist or get a second opinion from another doctor. Because some have more education when it comes to nutrition, some don't. I have plenty of doctor friends that are like, oh, my colleague uses these, who's a doctor, and recommends it, right? So it really just depends on the level of education doctors have when it comes to nutrition.
100% agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. I'm seeing if there's any questions out there. It doesn't look like it. If not, thanks all for joining as usual. If you're wanting to take your health and well-being to the next level, feel free to reach out to either of us. We're more than happy to support you in that process. It's absolutely amazing when it comes to isogenics. I'm a lifer. I always talk about that, iso lifer, especially after my own healing journey. And I know Rachel went through her own version of that. So for us, this is a huge passion of us, and we're out here to support anyone that's even interested or curious to find out if it's for them.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
Yes. Well, have a wonderful rest of your Monday and an amazing week. Happy holidays.
Bye, guys.
Bye.